Never.
Hello, Internet. We are live, I think. I hope. Maybe. Possibly.
Live.
We're live. We're live. Cool, cool, cool. Sweet. Hopefully, Duff, the audio levels are a little bit better than what they have been. Woo. Hooray.
Yeah, it's been kind of quiet in some episodes.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Hey!
Hey!
My birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Time to mess around.
Yeah, we're here finally. Had to, you know, with recent events and activities and all going on. Yeah. Yeah, had to update a bunch of things. Yeah, you know, typical stuff. Yeah, always fun times. But anyway, yeah, gotta love it. Welcome to the Praetors Rejects Twitch channel. I am Kingbashman. I am the dungeon master for this group of players here, subjecting themselves to the Tales from the Yawning Portal adventure path. And I can't speak for them, but I've been having a blast. So, for what that's worth. Anyway, I'll speaking of players, I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves, and we'll pick up where we left off last week, as I try to remember where we left off last week.
What game are we playing?
Playing Fight Club Simulator.
Yeah, Power Wash
Fight
Simulator.
Lawnmower Simulator.
Well, Ben, introduce your character.
Okay. Hi, my name is Huxley, and today I am playing Mordechai Alfredo Lorenzo IX, a big green fighting machine half-orc barbarian. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, brother.
Yeehaw.
Why do I have to follow that? I'm Loco. I
am Loco1956 in chat. I play Razumdar Longbow, not a cleric, that's another guy, a ranger of the Tabaxi persuasion.
That cleric is dead.
Shut up.
I am Caleb. I am playing Inquisitor Enoth Bertold, the human paladin of hell.
I am Alex, and the overlay is lying. I'm playing Umi, a turtle bard who runs Fight Club.
Yes, that is right, because somebody here, and that somebody is me, has not had a chance to update all the overlays with the new character names and stuff. And when I update it, I'm just eliminating them and just putting your Twitch handles on there, so I don't have to keep updating it. So
Fair enough.
We still think you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm Sammy. I'm known as Wolf throughout the community, and I play Rowan Bertolt, slightly older brother to Enoch Bertolt, and I'm a cleric / sorcerer of the lightning variety.
Did Rowan get younger by like 10 years? He sounds different.
Yeah, he's
No.
he's a teenager now.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, hope everybody's having a good night.
Oh my God, can he be from Montana
Minnesota.
now? Yeah, Minnesota. Can he be from Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Enoch there. He's a good boy, eh?
Who the hell are you?
What did you do with my brother?
All right, my next character coming from Minnesota.
Oh fuck.
We're going there.
Then Jeff's definitely not killing your character.
It's D&D Minnesota.
Yeah, sorry, you're stuck with this character until I say otherwise. So
So this is actually from
God.
Minnesota.
Mordechai's never gonna die.
I
For
like
he
that.
has plot armor.
I
I
like
have
it.
ordained it.
I
And
like
Assless
I like
Chaps.
that. I like that mentality. We'll go with that one.
You like assless chaps?
Hell
And
yeah,
a
brother.
cloak of billowing.
And a cloak of billowing.
Chaps of asslessness.
That billows around the ass.
Don't ask why. It's call it magic, son. It's magic. I don't know.
Not if
hold
you're
your
downwind,
nose.
it's not.
Yeah, you might want to hold your nose if you're walking downwind. Something
Chaps.
of a stinking cloud, if you catch my meaning.
Chaps of defense, and in parentheses they say assless. It's listed in the compendium.
Chaps of asslessness.
Something around here smells like manure.
These plus one leathers are very breathable. Advantage on athletics or acrobatics
Very,
checks.
very flexible too.
Are they studded leather?
I've got so much room for activities in these.
You get
Doing
plus
squat.
two, I got plenty of room for something.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Stretching.
I wear them backwards. See. Yeah. Chaps of crotchlessness.
Well, Jesus.
Okay, moving on.
At least they're not edible.
We started it immediately, boys.
Yeah. Anyway.
I
So
like free access to my holster.
never know when you got to access your piece at a moment's notice.
My what? Oh, yeah. Listen, Hawk, sometimes you just got a quick draw.
The best part of all of this is Duff is from one of them cowboy type states.
He's got a cowboy type of voice too.
Without hearing him or seeing him, like if you listen closely, you can just hear him face palming.
I know, I can hear his teeth grinding.
That's
Yeah,
mine.
see? He reckons he is. Yeah.
I reckon I am.
I reckon I am. Anyway,
Ooh, mummy.
I reckon that's where this headache came from. Just whack.
this is what an aneurysm feels like. Damn.
Good to know.
Well then, guess it's about time I take my own happy ass out to pasture here. And
Yep.
I can see this is gonna be a problem. Anyway,
Yeah.
shit, where did we leave off? You all did a whole bunch of whatever it was that you all did, and then
Our penis.
We
Yeah,
dicked
a lot
around
of
with
that.
some hard our penis, and
We went to
that was
Fight
about
Club,
it.
and we also saw people in red coats.
Were they red?
They weren't red
thought they
coats.
were.
Were they coming?
Yeah, no.
You're not
See
fighting
it.
the
Let's-
British.
No, we're not fighting the British yet.
Aye. We're a free country, damn it.
That's right. We got rights.
For now.
No, I believe you all started to leave the Yawning Portal to go, I guess.
Well, Roz and I were trying to track them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's I'm pretty sure that's where we left off.
Sounds fine to me.
Last week is a blur when I try to think about it. Anyway, so Roz and Rowan, you exit the tavern to go try to track down these mysterious individuals, or try to, I don't know, gather some information throughout the wards in the city, see what you can gather up.
As nonchalantly as humanly possible.
I would say you're in Waterdeep, so it's not like you really stand out that much. But then again, you are also in Waterdeep, so you kind of stand out. Kind of a dual-edged sword
Lose.
there. Yeah, it's like you don't stand out, but you do stand out because Roz is a tabaxi.
Ain't nobody ever seen a cat before?
Ain't nobody seen a human male before.
People around these parts get spooked easy.
By cats. Sounds
Damn.
a bit superstitious.
Yeah. Anyway. Yes. So where would you all go start looking first?
The dock ward.
Dock wards.
I'm assuming, like, being around Neverwinter for most of my life, I kind of know where crime syndicates like to group up.
I mean, that's true.
Ish.
Yeah.
The crime ward.
Kinda. Yeah, the crime ward.
That's
under-
That's
that's
where the castle
underground.
is.
Yeah, that's underground in places we don't talk about.
That's where they make the laws. That's the real crime ward, if you ask me.
Taxation is theft.
Here, I heard that.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Hot diggity damn. Yeah. So you all head to the dock ward. The dock ward here in
deep of water.
I almost said here in Dragon Heist. In Waterdeep. Is always fairly busy. Whether it's supply ships coming in, dignitaries, visitors, sailors coming in from voyage, or like fishing vessels, things of that nature. As you approach, you do see the pier is loaded with many ships of different varieties. None of the ships really stand out as anything like significant. You see a lot of dock workers loading and unloading ships. You see the dock master out there with paperwork, kind of going over it, making sure everything is good to go. And beyond that, like you don't see just arriving, and at first glance nothing really catches your eye.
I think we should stick around and watch for a few hours, Roz.
This one smells fish.
Well, yes, that would be
It's
plausible.
making Ross hungry.
Is there a like dried fish seller around? Go grab a couple fish sticks.
I mean, what?
Yeah, I mean there's some like fish market stall type thing set up. Whether it's, dried out, cooked, or something like that is plausible.
What if Frost doesn't like them cooked?
Well, then we'll get a raw one. I'm sure that's feasible enough.
Raw or cooked is good. The dried ones loses the flavor.
All right. Well, let's go up to one of the stalls and grab a couple fish and just hang out for a little bit, see what we see. Specifically looking kind of towards the alleyways, like entrances and exits, for the same, cloaked figures that we saw the previous evening.
Okay. You approach the fish stall and a merchant greets you. You exchange some coin for very generously sized fish raws. It looks like it would be delicious. And you're fixing your gaze on the alleyways. You see people use them as shortcuts. You see some people kind of walking around in that particular area. Nothing really matches any type of description of the group of hooded figures or cloaked figures that you saw earlier. You do see some, hooded people cutting through and appearing and then moving back into the shadows. So, but you also know it's water deep. Neverwinter also has, thieves guilds and, like rogue syndicates and things of that nature too. So,
yeah. I mean, we didn't see him go in anywhere, right? The previous evening.
No, you just saw him cut, like basically entering into the alley. You tried to follow, but they were gone by the time
they got
you
away
caught 'em up.
before.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really the investigator type. Not my forte as a cleric.
Do you think it is possible they could be under the ground in like the sewers?
That's definitely a plausibility.
And not that Roz wants to go into the sewers, but I'm just saying possibly look around some of the holes that go under the city.
Not a bad idea. I'm not too fond of going underneath either. Not sure I want to deal with the stench, but
Finds a pack of were-rats.
I hadn't thought of that, but I have now.
Idiot.
Another character getting bullied by were-rats. It's also a tabaxi. I'm down.
Protect your nuts.
Weren't you just talking about crotchless chaps?
Yeah. I don't know why I said it. I just said it. Sometimes I just say things. Call it cowboy wisdom, if you will.
Okay.
No, this one will not.
Oh, I'm not there. Just talking to myself.
But your voice haunts this one's brain.
Hi, I'm your conscience. Let me be your guide. You might want to protect your nuts, kitty cat. Feel like that's happened to one of your kid in the past. Maybe on a previous campaign, perhaps.
Oh my god.
You guys remember when when
Ginmare got chomped in the nuts by a
Genmar got kicked in the nuts?
You were going to bring that up.
The first time Duff noticed that that Lionel was like 6 foot something or other, 6'6", 6'7". He's like, the next episode, he's like, I'm a 6'7" cat creature, and then Duff's like, wait, you're that tall? Wait, what? What are you doing in those sewers? And you're like, this one was on all fours. That was the first episode I came in when y'all were talking about all that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I was suffered for penalties because me and Linnea were the same height, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you two didn't even go. That's why Genmar got kicked in the nuts.
no, I went. I just suffered a lot of penalties for it.
You squeezed in.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Anyway, yeah, protect your nuts.
From pseudopods.
I don't even remember where we were.
They're tracking people.
Yeah, you're trying to locate these guys. Wow, my brain is completely derailed now.
Is Alfredo a morning person or a night person?
Well, if I get a bit of that rancher's coffee in me, I guess I can do things in the morning. I kind of prefer sleeping in. Depends on the kind of night I had previous.
Got shit-faced, fought everybody.
Was that
You got
now?
shit-faced 2 ways.
I don't think I did. I don't think my character got drunk. He drank a lot, but I don't think he got very drunk.
Nobody got the snot beat out of him.
You should see the other guy.
I was the one running it. I know.
Thank you, Logo. Jeez, that's a big picture. Holy crap.
Well, Umi's gonna use.
Oh man, I
task.
forgot there was a tavern called the Misty Beard.
Umi's gonna do his task and run the organization below the Yawning Portal.
What's that?
Umi's gonna go below the Yawning Portal and run his gig.
Oh yeah. I keep wanting to say Ophidius because that's on my tag on Twitch stream, but Mordechai will happily join you.
Would the little brother want to as well?
Wait now, which one's the little one?
Yes.
I mean, you're both little compared to me, but as far as you two, where y'all stand in that regard? Which one of y'all is the older brother?
I guess he would grumble, and he is.
Not a happy tone.
Oh, now, little tyke, ain't nothing to be ashamed of. And he puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, you may be younger, but you know what that means, right? And he kind of like squats down and just meets you eye to eye.
Breathing in my face.
Yeah, he's like breathing cigar smoke into your face.
No.
It means you got more opportunities than he does. He's old hat.
Wow.
You're a right spring chicken.
You gonna take that, brother?
Telling the holy man he's a spring chicken.
Do I want to go down to the fight club?
Sure you do. Come on. He puts his arm around you, starts walking.
If he's pulling me along, then yeah, I guess I won't fight it.
What do y'all do for fun when you're not fighting down here? I don't even remember my life before I found this place.
Drink.
Y'all, why y'all up in these armored get-ups anyway? Y'all got some kind of club? Y'all fighters? You look like a holy man. Like some kind of mighty knight.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, who you worship? are you representing in your official capacity?
I represent the Watcher and carry his symbols with me everywhere that I go.
I'm the Watcher. The
You know.
Watcher. I'm gonna roll a religion check. Here comes the religion check.
It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Oh, you mean the gauntleted knight that defends the gates. Yeah, you're talking about Helm, right? I thought you were a paladin of Helm.
He is.
Okay.
Nod in agreement.
He's so uncomfortable in this situation.
Mighty noble of you.
This is very alien. Just not used to people touching him.
Hey, put her there, and he holds out a fist.
Put what there?
He holds out a fist for like a fist bump. And you may realize he's trying to make a joke about the fist of Helm.
Oh,
gauntleted fist. Maybe you wouldn't get it. I don't know.
I didn't.
And he just after you leave him hanging,
fisted gauntlet to your fist. Yeah.
If you leave him hanging, he's just gonna like bonk you on the head gently.
Decks him.
You silly goose.
Deck my
You
helmet
are the little
sideways.
brother, aren't you?
The whole front of my helmet turns sideways around my head.
I'm just glad there's no longer a monk in the party at the moment.
Whoa.
Why?
Why?
I'm not going to say it on stream.
Rated E for everyone.
All right, well, let's quit standing around like some cattle.
I know.
Quit standing around like some cattle and get out and find a fight.
Uh-oh. Woo, Josh, yay! Thanks for the resub, man.
That? It's always good to see Josh.
Well, I imagine Mordechai's currently fighting. Enoth is drinking, and Umi is announcing the fights as they happen.
Do we need to fill time with one-on-one PvP fights here in the Fight Club?
We definitely should after we figure out where the cloaked figures are, and then we can fill time.
I was just more of setting up the setting for when they come back.
Do I need to bring back someone else that you guys have really been wanting to kill?
Vismond? Would Vismond know about this place, though?
Vismond's dead.
No.
But I can bring him back. Maybe I'll do zombie Vismond.
Vismond is like in the Terminator's hands just sticking out of the boiling mud.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
For all you guys know, Vismond is dead.
Right. But I have the power to bring him back.
Or he's a cockroach and he's still alive.
Yeah, he transmuted into a cockroach. He got hit with a polymorph spell followed by permanency spell.
I mean, sometimes magic happens, you know.
Baleful polymorph from Pathfinder.
Yeah. All right. Rowan and Roz. You spend your time kind of watching the general area of where you're at there at the dock ward. Again, nothing really stands out. You do see a lot of, I guess, towards like the end of the day, late afternoon, you see a lot of foot traffic heading to, let's see, heading to the Pickled Fisherman, which you would know is a tavern.
Okay.
In the dock ward.
It's called what? I'm sorry?
The Pickled Fisherman.
Okay.
In the whole day, we don't see anybody that has the similar robes and armor.
Nope.
No red coats.
Maybe we're in the wrong area.
Yes. This one thinks the same thing. Maybe the docks is too high class for these individuals.
Maybe.
Or
I mean, we
maybe
could
it
always
is
go
too
to the
low
trade
class.
ward too.
These could
Or
be mercenaries of a higher sort, you know.
we saw them. It was next to the Yawning Portal, wasn't it? Like we were like a block away from the Yawning Portal.
Yeah, you kind of saw
within the
them
block.
like on your way back to the Yawning Portal, yeah.
I guess we can go hang out for the evening and in the morning, or even just hang out for a while up there this evening, see if we see anything. Patrol the alleyways.
Yes, maybe Roz will do some reconnaissance on the rooftops.
There you go. I can stay on the ground.
Yes, it is a good plan.
It sounds
Forward
kind of like
we
Rowan's
go.
Afraid of Heights. Maybe I could
No,
just
I'm just
stay on
gonna
the
leave
ground.
the nimble cat to be in the tree or the building.
That's a little racist, Sam.
I mean, Jesus.
I'm wearing heavy
Christ,
armor.
dude.
I ain't trying to slip
And
and
Roz
fall.
is too.
Sure.
No, not
What kind of armor is Roz wearing?
breastplate.
So he is wearing heavy armor.
No,
No, that's medium.
Is it medium? I thought it was heavy.
I think that's the best medium armor you can get. It's +5.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. I don't have the item things pulled up, so yes, we'll just go with that.
Oh, good.
So you all are gonna kind of patrol the alleyways closer to the
Yawning.
around the Yawning
closer
Portal.
to the Yawning Portal. Yeah, I
Right.
think that's a good idea.
Okay. Raj, you're gonna take to the almost said the treetops. The rooftops.
Yes.
Okay. And Rowan, you're gonna just walk around through the alleys on foot.
Yeah, I like kind of pull my cloak up a little more over my head and stuff to cover up my armor and my cleanliness. So that I don't become too auspicious in the alleys and I blend into the alley folk, you know.
Okay. You set out and you're bouncing around all the rooftops. Every now and then you'll kind of scout out a little bit and then come back, try to get a visual on Rowan, and then kind of head off in a different direction. Rowan, you're walking around through the alleys there, and you do come across everybody knows that the alleys are usually kind of what's the word, prone to have
Shady.
a lot of the beggars and unsavory folk, if you will.
Tracking.
Yeah. And I mean, other than the typical beggars and things of that nature, you just don't really pay anybody any mind, really. You're focused on trying to locate this mysterious group that you saw. I mean, some beggars come up to you asking for coin and give you some type of sob story or something. One guy says he has these cheeseburgers, and you just continue walking on. Again, you don't really find any people moving through or moving around that really catches your eye. At this point in time, it is starting to get towards the darker side of dusk.
Okay.
Roz is going to stay out for at least a couple, 3 hours past really dark. You know, the midnight hour type.
Okay. Oh god. Okay. Let's see. Map. Alright. Every time I try to move the map, it just blows up. Okay, about I'd say probably another hour or so, hour or two goes by. You all have managed to cover a lot of ground. And Rowan, you've somehow, well, I don't want to say somehow, but eventually you make your way into a place known here in Waterdeep as Mini Cat's Alley.
Fitting.
Right. And it's dark. The only light throughout the entire city is basically, you know, street braziers and lights coming through windows, things of that nature. You round the corner and like from the shadows you hear what sounds like, I'll say because of your cleric levels, it sounds like someone struggling to catch their breath, like struggling to breathe.
Hey. I'll kind of quicken my pace a little bit till I get close to the corner and slow down and peek around it.
You peek around the corner. In the darkness, you can't really see anything right off the bat. The sound is a lot louder. Like it's nearby. You can't really see anything yet.
Okay. I will unsheath my shield from my back and activate the lightning bolt, cast the light, and continue forth.
You continue forth, probably about 20-25 feet from your location where you activated the light on your shield. You see a figure kind of slumped up against a wall in the corner there in a part of the alley there, wearing dark leather armor and has a hooded cloak kind of pulled up over him, you know, black leather gloves. One hand is kind of like resting over his torso, like kind of like holding himself from a wound or something, and he's struggling to keep his breath consistent.
I'll run up and give a quick medicine check on him. Okay, I don't stabilize him with that, so we'll just switch to something I know will work, and I'll cast like Cure Wounds on him. Kind of seal up his wound.
Roz is up on the rooftops, mirroring wherever Rowan goes, kind of keeping an eye on him.
Okay, yeah. You would have been able to see a burst of light coming from this alley when Rowan activates the light from his shield. It kind of pops out pretty well, you know, when it's dark.
Did I see anybody leaving the scene?
Mm-mm.
No.
Rowan, you bent down to try to cast a healing spell to this individual, and a very winded voice kind of talks out to you. Don't waste your time.
I wouldn't be wasting my time. You have information I might need.
Well, I can tell you right now that whatever it is you're trying to do, it won't work. And he goes to move his hand, and you see a very nasty, large, grievous-looking wound in the center of his torso. Part of it looks... It is almost like he got impaled by a greatsword. Is about the size of the hole that he is trying to keep covered up with his hand. One part of the wound looks like it has been soldered shut almost with like fire, and the other part looks like it is it looks very nasty and like almost infected with necrotic energy. It looks like it's slowly turning into like zombie flesh, or like undead something or another. The wound is probably one of the worst you've ever seen, that appears to have been inflicted by some type of really messed up weapon.
Okay.
Basically just described Scorpion's finisher.
Yeah,
kind
of. Who did this to you?
I don't know. I've never seen this group of individuals before.
Do you know where they're located? Why would they want you?
I was foolish and thought I had an easy mark. I could tell that they're not from around here. So I went to go pickpocket them. The one whose purse I lifted didn't notice, but one of them did, and that sealed my fate.
Direction did they travel?
Good question. One sec.
For a guy missing half his chest, he's talking a lot.
Yeah,
Hey, now we need this.
I also don't like how Visman was just pulled over as a token that's been claimed.
Nothing to worry about, guys.
Nothing to see here.
Everything's fine.
It looks like they were heading towards the southward, but I can't be sure.
Okay. I will, instead of stabilizing him, kind of reach out, put my hand on his head, and just kind of silently cast Toll the Dead to end him in his suffering.
He just kind of looks up at you as the divine energy you're channeling starts to, focus and radiate forth from you. And the last thing he says before the bells tolled is, "Beware the one with the fire sword." And then just punches over.
Sick after he kills a
fire sword. All right.
No
yeah, get me one of them.
Haberdashery.
About this time, Roz silently sneaks up behind you and, hey, what has happened here?
This man was attacked by the group we are looking for. He said they were traveling towards the South Ward. He was but a mere thief, but they caught him.
The crime does not pay, does it not?
No,
The
it does
South
not.
Ward, then.
To the South Ward.
It's like Batman.
2
much.
hours later.
Two.
Should we
hours
gather everyone
later.
else for this?
What?
I
don't know. Are we
Asking
still
Rod.
doing reconnaissance, or are we now on a mission?
if we run into them, wouldn't we want assistance?
It doesn't have to go violently. I mean, it could. I don't know.
You guys got this.
I probably will.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to confront them, I don't guess. Just as long
That's
as
fair.
Split the party.
maybe see
We'll
where
go
they're
find them.
at.
To the South Ward, then.
All right. So you start heading to the South Ward. And
I will, before we go, because we're near the Yawning Portal, leave a note with Durden for Enoch to let him know of our direction of travel, just in case we get, like, kidnapped or something.
Murdered.
Okay.
Murder.
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 So is there like, so what are you going to put in the
Red
note?
rum.
Is there going to be like, if we don't come back in a few days, come look for us?
Just going to let you know that Roz and I have traveled to the South Ward in search of the mysterious cult, bandits, whatever you want to call them. If we're not back by morning, come looking.
Pretty grim. Let's hope things work out.
All right. So the other three, what are you all up to?
Fight Club. Like Chaos Reign.
Blood for the blood god.
That is true.
All right. Well, take it away there, Mr. Fight Club, since this is what you wanted in here.
Yeah.
We fight.
We fight. There was a firefight.
Sweet mother of God.
Back to you, Bash.
Breaking news from the Fight Club Underground. Back to you all.
I thought you were gonna say the whole place caved in.
Rocks fall, everyone dies. All right.
Back to you, Rowan.
Nobody's coming for you two. Enoch is dead.
I mean, what do
When
you
did
got?
that happen?
Umami. What do you
We
got
could
for us?
fight
You got
each
any?
other.
Ooh, mommy.
I mean, we can either have a combat
Uh-huh.
and pad time that way, or we throw it back to our trusty and very spontaneous and creative dungeon master.
I want to know what's going on with these cultists, or just whatever the men in robes.
I'm really interested to see what plays out there. It's just that I don't really know too much about it, and I'm in the middle of fighting right now. I'm fighting downstairs. We're swinging. We're
I've been
swinging
drinking
fists.
the whiskey, and now I swing on my fist.
Yep. We throw them back, and we throw them back.
Oh, boy.
Who said that? Oh, just
There's a kobold down in the Fight
pulls
Club
his hand
now.
crossbow out and starts shooting at the ceiling.
Hell yeah, I like this idea. Your first opponent, as you're sitting there, is like, yeah, this is gonna be great. I love this. A small, finely dressed kobold walks out.
Riding a miniature T-Rex.
Yeah, miniature T-Rex.
With the little T-Rex? That's fucking cool.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that Alfredo would lose that fight.
a toy!
I feel like Alfredo would definitely lose that fight.
God, we need a soundboard so bad. You think Alfredo would lose?
Against Zeke and a T-Rex, yes.
You are a sad, strange little man. I bid you farewell.
You have my sympathy.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you have my sympathy. That's right.
Bring out your dead!
There you go.
Oh man, God.
So if we want to fight each other, we can. If
Go
we
for
don't
it.
want to, we don't have to.
Who do we
It's
have
just
here?
who's gonna fight who. We have
We've
you,
got-
me, and Enoth.
Yeah,
I do
and
kinda wanna
the commoner.
see,
We have a commoner too.
I don't want to fight
yeah.
anybody.
We should put together a tournament bracket.
I want to see Enoch get his ass handed to him. Somebody fight him.
I don't want to fight anybody.
Roll for
I
initiative,
wanna-
you little
I wanna
squat.
fight Enoch.
You little
All right,
pipsqueak.
Enoth, come on, let's fight.
Guy comes in with a flame sword.
I'll take him. I'll take him. I've got the plot armor.
You don't want to mess with him. That's the strongest armor of all.
Hey, boy, you want wrestle?
Assless Chaps.
He takes
Assless
off the duster.
Chaps.
It's just the assless chaps, and he's fully greased. Big green, greased up man with 2 tusks.
Oh yeah, I
and a
forgot
cigar.
you were. Forgot you were a half-word.
Yeah.
Oh boy, no thanks.
Come on, Enoth, let's fight. Just push him.
The peer
go.
pressure.
Push him again.
on.
Let's go.
More
Enoch,
like
look, in
beer
the middle
pressure.
of that ring is
Peer
an
pressure.
evildoer in need of justice.
More like beer pressure. Am I
there's,
right,
a pit
Enoch?
fiend. There's a pit fiend in the middle of it.
Yeah, can we just pull up a?
I suppose so. I guess I could fight a generic NPC.
Level 1 commoner.
I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight any of my friends though.
Define
Wait,
friends.
we're your friends?
Lame.
Fight my brother.
Is he not your friend?
He is my
Arguing
brother.
about who's
My
going to
brother.
get the comfiest couch cushion doesn't count as fighting, Enoth. You know where I want to take this character? I really
Yeah.
want to watch True Grit. I want him to be like
Oh, God.
Jeff Bridges. I want him to be like Jeff Bridges a little bit.
I am totally for that.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie. It's been a long time, but I'm starting to hear that. Disdain in his voice.
Yeah.
Enoth, it's all right. You can fight a barbarian and win. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
or any character from Tombstone.
Oh, jeez. Was there a big gruff guy in that one? That would be like, no,
I don't know.
because
Probably
all
some
of the main
outlaws.
characters in that one were like slick. You know, they were thin and slick. It was a big, beefy, like tankish kind of dude.
Mm.
Maybe the guy who's like, "Law don't go right here, law dog." Like that guy seems like he could take
Yeah,
a punch. You
Possibly.
I mean, if we want, I can bring up my character and make him fight you guys.
know, Breeze. Can we fight Breeze and kill him?
Or no, Burden, not Breeze.
Burden.
I've got about 28 characters on D&D Beyond. If we want to just throw them all into a little hat and draw a name, and
I mean,
Well,
I think
if we met Burden, that
that could
runaway.
become a deadly encounter pretty quick.
yeah. What if Burden just showed up? Like Burden could just like show up. Like
Burden's
he ran
fucking
away,
dead.
but he didn't.
No,
like, did he-
Breeze is
he-
the one who ran away.
Oh,
Oh,
Breeze.
okay. Breeze is still alive.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
sorry.
Burden
When your characters are tabaxi
Both
and their names
B's and-
both start with B, it's kind of
Yeah.
hard.
Burden got his soul eaten by an
By-
evil sword.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Burden didn't make it through one episode. So.
Burning dead.
What a stupid character.
Honestly,
I'm joking. Sort of.
Whoa!
kind of deserved it.
Oh, mommy.
Mommy.
Ooh, mommy.
Came into the episode flirting with a character, then died the same episode.
He's like Johnny Bravo. He's got weird.
Oh, that's right. Dude, he did deserve to die.
Yeah. He was a very weird person.
Do the monkey with me.
He,
Or we could fight Master Woodchip.
yeah, I'll be down for that.
Oh,
we
that
wanted
would
to-
be hilarious.
See if both of us, pick Ben, you and I wanted to team up and fight Woodchip. I don't know what level Monkey is. He's way higher than we are.
Probably 20.
Do we have a stat block for Master Woodchip, or do we just not?
Yes, there's a character sheet for it.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Well, in all seriousness, Bash, we seem to be running out of content.
I was expecting 2 more people to be here to do this.
Let's engage in a riveting round of crossword. I'll go first.
Crossword.
Anyone have any puzzles?
No, that's not what we do down here.
Where I come from, crossed words lead to swinging fists.
How about a game of cards?
Why?
Cowboys like cards.
We cross. he
cross.
He taps his hand crossbow.
Well.
Enoth, I think he really wants to fight you.
You know, Enoth, if I didn't think we was friends anymore, I don't think I could bear it.
Oh, mommy.
All right, well, I'm ready to roll for initiative if somebody wants to roll against me, and let's just have a fight. Well, we need a battle map.
I mean, we could just use the inside of the
You clear off the
Yawning
initiative
Portal
tracker.
circle, too.
Yeah, just stay inside the circle.
Yeah, I mean, it's around the same concept.
Yeah, we can do that. Hold on.
So, Enoch, you're not fighting?
And while we're fighting, you can work on
I'll fight him, I guess. I
the
don't know.
cloaked masters
you wanna
kind of
fight?
storyline there.
I guess so.
Are we going to have a 3-way fight?
I'm down for a 3-way.
one.
Fight.
I don't see how that's gonna work. It's just
We just fight.
Last man standing gets the bag.
All 3 of us versus Woodchip. I think that's a
Not
fair
that
fight.
complicated.
All 3 versus all 3.
There are, we
No.
assemble in front of a magic mirror versions of ourselves come out.
Ooh.
I don't think all 3 of you would be able to take Master Woodchip.
Oh shit.
Damn.
If it's
Probably
level 21,
not. He's
probably not.
got 20 key points, right?
You got a lot of key points.
And he is open bowel movement monk, so it is pretty tough.
Yeah, open bowel movements are a little difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
It's an uncommon and very dangerous fighting style. High risk, high reward, very high damage.
So,
Way of the open bowel.
so we're doing a 3-way fight?
I mean, if you all really want to. I'm fine with
Or
it.
should we just settle down the chaos and only do 1v1?
Dude, on this map, we have 5 characters who are not playing the game right now.
Yeah.
We've got Zosa, Verm, we've got Judas, Torrent, and
Clipper.
But it's-
Clipper.
But it's funny though. I'm gonna put Torrent off here in this little private room.
Clipper's like,
Go.
want to play? Yeah.
Well,
Do you
if
require
Enoch-
assistance? Bam.
Do you require assistance?
We're,
Boom.
we're the Fellowship of the Overdue Bar Tub.
Yeah, you all are in timeout for not paying your tab.
I'm a card carrying member of that club.
Well, I think I'll lower the chaos and only make it a 1v1. We still have 2 other people that might show up too, so.
Are you talking about our 2
will-
investigators?
Yeah, our 2 quote
Yeah,
unquote
if we had
investigators.
gotten, if I had found out about that, I would go along. But I'm in the fight club.
Umi will
You're in
announce the
Fight
fight, kind of hyping up each contestant in each side of the ring. We got Alfredo, the one with the crossbow and Assless Chaps. We got Enoch, the brother complex / sword guy. Fight.
Like Oedipus complex.
Yeah.
Ready.
And in this corner. Okay.
Let's get ready to rumble. All right, we'll have at it, guys.
Can we roll for? Can you get rid of all of the other
Initiative
characters on
currently.
the initiative tracker? Wait, what did I do? How do I?
Well, just if it's just 2 people going, just roll your initiative and it'll redo them.
Okay.
you don't have to swap between them.
Yeah. Oof. Mordecai, not so much on the quick draw today.
Yeah, going last is like going first on the next turn. It'll
You
buff.
went first or last?
It'll buff.
Sure.
It gives me time to finish my drink. He can pull that giant sword out of his scabbard. He's going to take a full round action to do that. I can already tell.
All right, you're up first.
How should I go about targeting Mordecai?
And can you put us on the track, on the map?
Yeah, that would be easy.
And we got to stay inside the black circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great.
Technically, the walls are like 15 foot high, so there's no escaping said arena.
Sweet.
Doesn't mean you can't levitate to the top.
That is true, but then you'll get you're disqualified at that point. So,
Bing bing.
Even if you stay within the 15 feet.
Yeah. Or no, you can stay within the 15 feet.
Hold on.
I don't know why, but Inquisitor Enoch is unconscious and grappled while still swinging.
Interesting.
Yeah, you done made a mistake, son. And you look down. I've already got my my hand around your neck.
Everything was fine on my sheet.
Oh no! We suck again!
You suck again!
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's amazing. Wait, whose turn is it?
Still Enos.
It's still Enos' turn.
Oh, okay. I'll just we'll swing again. Not done with you yet. Pasta man. Missed.
You suck again.
And
Go and get your licks in.
Are we allowed to use spells in this fight, or is it
You're
physical?
allowed to use anything you want.
Okay, then I will cast Spiritual Weapon. And I'll put it in the square to my right.
Can we get some ripping fight music?
I was just thinking, this is really awkward.
I want the jukebox to get bumped into, and it starts playing "Don't Break My Heart, My Achy Breaky Heart."
Umi
I
will
just
start.
don't think you'd understand.
Umi will start performing the song.
Oh God!
A bard steps
Are you
out, starts strumming, holding out for a hero.
And they say
That's what I'm
that a
doing.
hero can save.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so
Let's just get a performance check to see
I
how well
cast
that's going.
Spiritual Weapon, and it's going to
Not great.
attack Alfredo.
Oh God.
Misses.
Cutting it close there.
That is it.
It gets stuck on my assless chaps of billowing.
Spiritual Weapon. Guarding Assless Chaps. Okay.
Is it a fist? Is your spiritual weapon a
It
fist?
is.
And you're targeting my assless chaps?
It is not. It is not.
You made it the helm hand, didn't you?
It's gotta be the fist.
It was a floating maze.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Spirit weapon.
the head of the mace is a giant fist.
It is, yeah. So it's not just a fist; it's a fist on a stick. Okay.
I fucking love this. I want to see that weapon in real life.
It probably 100% exists if you look for it hard enough. I'd have to go to some shady websites to find something like that.
It has to be painted in a flesh tone. It has to look like, like just a hand on a stick. And the stick is like a crude bone, like Among Us. It's like the big
The
round.
fist is just very small too. It's just not even.
There you go. There's your spectral hand.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Here, it looks like this, Ben. I'll send it to you through Discord.
Oh, thank you. Wait. I guess
it'd be more-
It's a head on a
There you
skewer.
go.
that is absolutely way more deadly looking than I thought it would be.
It wouldn't look
That
exactly
looks
like
so
that. It'd be
badass,
stylized
dude.
like Helm.
Holy crap! Did you draw that? That's a skeletal
I did
hand.
not draw that. I just pointed that off of Google
All right.
Images. No
Anyway,
credit.
are you done with your
All right,
turn?
I was. I thought I clicked past the turn. Did it not go?
Yeah, I'm not
There's no
seeing
point in keeping track
an
of turn
active
order.
player highlighted.
Yeah,
there's no point anyway.
Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mordecai, your turn.
All right. Mordecai says, "Yeah, go and get your licks in, boy. It's the last ones you're ever gonna get.
Have at me.
Don't take it too personal now." And he goes to butt stroke you with his hand crossbow.
Goes to what with me?
He draws his hand crossbow and he's gonna try to pistol whip you in the face with it.
Okay.
Whoa.
He'll have to try harder than that.
All right. Then with his second attack, he's gonna do it again.
Oh,
Wow.
The fates are not with you today, Mordecai.
No, I can see that. What's the light level in here?
It's kind of smoky, isn't it?
Bright enough, I suppose.
It's lanterns are hung up everywhere. It's normal. It's not.
You gotta have light to see
nor is
the
it
fight,
super
you know?
bright.
Yeah. Just check something here. Oh man, I forgot a very important detail of my character. Oh well, that's fine. That's why we're doing this. Then he's going to he's gonna stay where he's at. He doesn't have anything left to do at the moment. Actually, he's gonna go ahead and cast a spell. He's gonna cast Hunter's Mark on you. So you he goes to swing, and you somehow manage to deflect the blows or dodge out of the way. I imagine with a 19, that might have been enough to glance off the armor. But with a 2, you just jump out of the way. Your fighting prowess is starting to kick in. You're warming up, and he gives you this. He's usually pretty jovial, but now there's something feral in his eye as he's looking at you, and he instinctively casts this spell, and you feel like you're the only thing he can see now. It's almost like he's starting to see red. As this spell is cast, I get an extra. Yeah, yes, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
He squints at the letterbox around the eyes. It goes back to my eyes, looking back and forth.
If this was a show, the letterbox format would kick in, like the black and white bars on the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna give myself that little bonus, and then I'll pass my turn. Oh well, I can't. So it's your turn.
The ceremonious pass of the turn.
Yes.
I am going to. Going to cast Divine. I'm going to do Divine Smite level 1 for this next attack.
You can call it after
You don't have. Yeah.
I don't have to call it before. Oh, that's good.
No.
Call it upon a hit.
That's why it's broken.
It's not broken.
That's a miss. We'll go again. Hope this one hits, so that's not for nothing. Oh, there we go.
Good.
Smite 1. Now I'll drop the damage real quick.
Ooh.
Do you all hear the music?
Yeah,
It was kind of
kinda-
laggy.
Barely.
just started.
And
I probably need to mess with it, but that's fine.
I move my floating hand, and it makes its attack.
Oh, crikey.
That's not related to anything. A good man, much like Mordecai. And it misses. On to you.
All right. So now it's like he assumes this stance. He kind of like squares off against you. He puts the hand crossbow down at his hip, and then he says, "Draw!" And he whips it up and he starts firing his hand crossbow at point blank range. And I should have done this to begin with. So here comes the first attack.
That hurt.
Funk. Here comes damage.
Got past
And
my
then-
shield.
I'm sorry?
You got past my shield, but that one you were
good.
too quick for me.
I thought you said, and I cast shield.
No.
Oh, Jesus
I don't
Christ.
have that. I'm not that good.
It's almost like you're mocking, like, oh, nice. And I cast shield.
Do I look like a wizard to you?
I don't know what you got up in there, Magic Man. All I know is I'm going to put you down. Here comes the next attack. Number 2. That's a miss. Now, the thing is, I have an extra attack because of my feat, which is crossbow expert, I can use a bonus action to attack with a hand crossbow.
Interesting.
So he fires one more time. Ooh, damn.
Unfortunately, you know, crossbow bolt. Enoch got hit the first time, and he was ready for the second two. He got his shield up in time, and they glance off its metal surface and fly off into the crowd.
You keep saying that word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
All right, go ahead and pass. All right, I passed my turn.
All right. Let's move over. It's a hit. Going to smite at level 1 again. Gotta get that damage in while I can. While I'm still conscious.
Ways.
Abusing the smite system.
Hit, smite.
Wow.
Hit, smite. Yeah. That's being a paladin for you.
Misses. Move the spiritual hand. It will attack.
Bursty.
Misses
damage.
again. Back to you.
Okay, so he sees that you've got this melee ferocity, and he decides he needs to change tactics. He's going to. Here's what he's going to do. He's going to reckless attack. And that means he gets advantage on melee attacks, and you get advantage on attacks against him.
Okay.
And then he's going to reach out and try to hit you in the face with an unarmed strike.
Wow.
That AC, man.
Well, that and crap dice rolls.
Since the last big shopping trip, Enoth has upped his AC by a few points.
Yeah.
And your strength.
He's a little yeah, that too. He's got the what are they? Are they gauntlets?
Gauntlets
of Ogre Power.
We'll try another one. Unbelievable. When you're good, you're good. And
when
now
you're not.
Inspiration.
and when you're not, you're not. And then as a bonus action, because he's so infuriated at the situation he finds himself in, he's going to... Wait, can I do that? Wait, am I missing something? Hang on just a second. I just got to double check something. Okay. He's going to rage as a bonus action.
Uh-oh.
I forgot you were barbarian.
And hopefully I have that coded right. And then I'll pass my turn.
All right, Enoth is going to make use of your recklessness and attack at advantage. His gleaming sword just comes down on you.
Wom, wom, wom.
I think I have a few more smite points left. Don't foresee any other combat, so I'll just burn them now. I'm gonna end this, Alfredo. Oh, did that only?
Did you put that on? I think you put that on me.
I guess it overlapped onto your token. So I guess
do a lot of damage already.
Give yourself 9 HP back again. We'll try that one more time.
Just to give myself 9 HP back.
That's what it said it did. 4. Excuse me, not 9.
If 4, okay, so that should be okay. And take off the divine smite from my character and put it on yours.
I dropped it a little too late, I guess. Let's see. There we go. That one was on me for sure. That time.
You should just be able to click the effect button and it'll apply it to you automatically.
Yep.
Yeah, if it says self, then it'll
good to know.
Do it automatically.
I'll just do that from now on. Then that worked.
Yes, it did.
My goodness.
Holy shit!
And this is for. I'm at advantage on you for until your next turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can attack again with
automatically
advantage.
do it.
That's a nat 20.
Oh man.
This might be
That's
it.
over.
It's all ogre now.
Ooh.
I'm
didn't
surprised.
smite?
I can't believe you did
I
not
didn't
smite
know.
your critical.
It's okay.
That's your way of
you were doing so well in Paladin school, and then you just failed on the final. You just failed the final.
You gotta give the crowd, you can't just end it outright. You gotta give the crowd a show.
No.
I mean, it's already like the third round. I mean,
it's your turn again, Alfredo. Okay. I want to see what Alfredo's gonna do. I want to know how he fights.
He's actually not built as a frontline fighter. He's built as a second rank range character.
You got that barbarian,
and it shows.
Tank,
Also, I forgot about some very important things that I can do in the first turn of combat as a Gloomstalker. I totally forgot about that stuff. Okay, so I'm raging. Here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna say, "We're about to stop playing games," and he's gonna reach out and try to grapple you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll an athletics check with advantage because I'm raging, and you roll either acrobatics or athletics to resist.
It's just straight up athletics on the first check.
It's athletics.
Well, he can use either athletics or acrobatics as
I'm pretty sure it's only
resist.
to break it.
Kind of like Osric did when you guys were trying to grab him when he was suggested to leave that jeweler's place. You can use acrobatics in your defense of a grapple.
Well, you've got me.
Okay, cool. So that he grabs you, and then what he's going to do next is he's going to try to shove you into the prone position. And if that happens, your speed becomes 0, and you won't be able to stand up until after you break the grapple.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be another grapple attempt on my end, and I can do this because I've got an extra attack. So he grabs you and he tries to shove you down into the prone. And just like before, you can either use acrobatics or athletics to try and stop this.
We're on the same thing.
Oh, nice,
Resisted.
dude. Nice. Oh, man.
Enough. Having been grappled by you he becomes very enraged and resists any further attempts at,
This is great for you because you can still attack. Now, are there any limitations for like what kind of weapon are you using, Enoch?
It is a moon-touched longsword.
If I remember correctly, it's just your speed is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a one-handed
I got
sword.
Pathfinder on the brain with different types of weapons and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Then this is yours to lose. It's your turn. All you are is grappled, not prone.
I'll start by attacking with the spiritual weapon. See if it can finish this. Hasn't hit you one time, I don't think. Oh, well, maybe once at the beginning of the fight. No longer at advantage, correct?
Not at advantage.
All right, now for the real stuff. One more try.
Okay.
There we go.
That's
and
it.
This will be a smite.
You smite now, but not on a crit.
That's very questionable.
Giving a fair chance. Look, it's a pit fight arena against a friend, okay? I don't want to go hard the paint on him.
Come on. Kill your friend.
Kill him now.
Nice. Now here's what happens. You land this blow, and he looks like he's about to fall. He drops to one knee for a moment, and then he raises back up because he uses relentless endurance.
Mm-hmm.
Once per day, I can keep my hit points at 1 instead of going to 0.
Does that break the grapple, though?
I don't go unconscious, so it shouldn't break the grapple, but the GM can adjudicate. It says when you are reduced to 0 hit points but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. That's all it says. So the way I'll understand that is I actually don't go unconscious, so I don't break the grapple. That's my interpretation of it.
That's all
like
I
my last effort to.
That's a. God, that's a very gray area too. So.
I don't know. That's all I had, unless
Okay.
And yeah.
Oh, let's see here. What else can I do? Not much. He's going to try to shove you to the ground.
Okay.
Here comes another grapple.
Oof.
You got me.
So he shoves you down into the prone position. That uses up one of his attacks, and now
Sweeps
he
the
takes.
leg.
Huh?
He
Yeah,
sweeps the leg.
He sweeps the leg, and he's like, "I'm gonna hog tie you, boy!" And he takes out his hand crossbow and he puts it right on your chest, and he goes to fire. And since you're prone, he gets advantage on the attack.
Range.
That's a ranged attack,
no.
though.
It would
That's
be a
disadvantage.
Melee attacks get advantage, not range.
No, so
Yeah.
when someone is prone,
They gain it.
an attack roll against a creature has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Otherwise, the attack roll has disadvantage.
Are we thinking of? Are we thinking of Pathfinder now?
You guys are thinking of Pathfinder. Even Pathfinder says that a ranged attack has a -4 penalty unless you're within 5 feet. So it's like in that context, it's like from Lord of the Rings when the orc is like about to shoot at Boromir at point blank range when he's on his knees. That's the thought I have about that. But as far as D&D rules go, the attack roll against the creature has advantage if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Otherwise, the attack roll has disadvantage.
It's really weird.
Okay.
That is weird, but yeah,
It's an
makes
interesting
sense.
It's
quirk.
true.
So
It's
it's
weird.
just think of it this way: like
Hit me with
I'm
it.
battered and bloody. I grab you and shove you with all my brute strength. You're down on the ground in the prone. And I take out the hand crossbow and just put it into your chest, and then pull the trigger. And it would take an act of God for me to miss. So here comes the attack.
I don't know. Looking at the chat
401.
there, wouldn't take that much of an act.
He is a holy man.
Looking at the huh?
Looking at all the missed attack rolls
Oh
that you've
yeah,
had so
that's
far.
the act of God I'm waiting for. It's
Yeah.
the reverse die roll mechanic you installed.
Let's see if Lady Luck is on your side.
Oh, Lady Tamora has been laughing at me tonight, but we'll see what she says now.
You met my AC.
Oh,
Barely
That
hit.
was a close one. That was a close one.
Unbelievable.
Thanks for the follow, Grim Reaper. Welcome to the Rejects. We got
So
a
there's a
little
little damage for you.
party
Okay.
fight club crap going on.
And can I do anything?
confrontations.
And I'll use a bonus action to pistol whip you with the hand crossbow. Crack. And here comes the piercing damage. Or should it be piercing? That should be bludgeoning since it's a pistol whip. I'll fix that later.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's all I can do. And you're in the prone, so it's going to be a little harder for you to kick out and get me. But you still have.
We'll see if the spirit hand can get you before.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
No, we cannot. All right, so I need to make an opposing check to break out of this, right? I can't attack from prone, can I?
Yeah, you need to break the. You can attack from prone. You attack with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Well,
Or you can use. I think you use your action to break the.
Use
grapple.
your action to break a grapple.
Yeah. And then you would stand up, and that uses up half your movement.
Yeah,
You wouldn't be able to stand up because you're grappled and your speed is 0.
I'll just use my action to break the grapple.
Okay, that's going to be athletics versus my athletics. Oh wait, no, either that athletics or acrobatics to break the grapple.
I'm just going to use athletics.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't think the paladin is very
I don't-
acrobatic.
Dexterous.
26.
Oh, you ain't going nowhere, hoss. I got you where I want you now.
Okay. I guess that's it.
All right. He's going to.
When you do have your spiritual weapon.
I
Yeah,
already used it.
yeah.
You already attacked with
Oh,
it.
you did.
You used it.
We didn't even notice. Wah, 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 wah.
Sneaks up from behind and blasts you over the back of the head. Whoa!
So I'm gonna rule that I can't use my hand crossbow as long as I've got you grappled because I have to use one hand to hold you down. so I can't reload the thing.
Yep.
As much as I
That
would love
makes
to have
sense
like
to
a
me.
little auto loader, I want him to just be able to go click, like snap it on his hip, and it loads a new bolt. But that's a story for another time.
Don't you
Yeah.
ignore the reloading property with or crossbow expert?
You still have to have the hands free to do
Yeah.
it. though.
Free.
Yeah,
Okay.
we kind of tried. I already tried that before, because I wanted him to be able to hold a shield and wield the hand crossbow, and it didn't work out in my favor. So
Well,
that
pistol whip.
yep, it's gonna be pistol whips. So he actually no, he's going to drop the hand crossbow, and then he's going to unsheath a +1 rapier.
Okay.
And he's gonna hold it like a dagger, like he's a big man. He's gonna hold this giant, this long rapier like it's a needle, like Arya holding needle, except it's the hound holding it instead. And he's gonna go to stab you. All right, and here comes damage, and then he will stab again. Whoops. And it's just this brutal stabbing right now. It looks like we should be in a back alley instead of in the middle of a fighting pit. Like
In a parking spot in a gas station.
Yes. The gas station right behind the Yawning Portal.
Yeah.
It's a 7-Eleven.
It's actually more of like a quick trip.
Oh, don't
was
shame Quick Trip like that.
Was there anything else for you?
It's a dirty Sunoco. No, I'll pass my turn.
All right, we'll go see if spiritual weapon can do some work.
Man, this sucks because we're not keeping track of rounds, and I can only do certain things for like a minute.
Is your AC 20?
Yes. And you're attacking. Oh, never mind. That's the spiritual weapon.
That was the spiritual weapon. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Can I cast spell still?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's a touch attack spell, it's still going to be a disadvantage. So at range attack because he's within 5 feet.
Why is the save DC so low for this?
Because it's based off your
Charisma. Do you have charisma?
My charisma's 18. It's +4.
What's the
And
save?
it says
your
save
DC is
DCs,
gonna be-
wisdom DCs. It says 11. So
that's
the magnifying
coded incorrectly.
glass on the. If you click
The
the
magnifying
magnifying glass on
glass,
the side, it might fix it.
Are you
What
a
say
spell?
paladin?
type of wisdom.
What spell?
That was hold person.
You're also going to want to double check all your others then.
Well, that's because they make a wisdom save when doing that spell,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but it's still the DC set off of your
Mm-hmm.
charisma.
So your DC should be 14.
What?
I make
No, our
like
proficiency bonus is better than 2.
3.
Yeah, so it should be 15 because it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus the modifier.
gotcha.
There you go.
Okay, so that's a lot more promising. I'll use that, and so I drag the cast die onto him to make him oppose wisdom.
The save.
Oh, save. Drag the save die. Okay. And he succeeds.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Very wisdomatic.
Yeah.
Wow.
The wise cowboy sage. I guess. Go ahead.
What's cowboy stage?
He almost doesn't even notice. Like he's raging. He's got this blind anger. He's been beaten within an inch of his life. He's taking it out on you. So sorry. Here it comes. This +1 rapier stab.
And you better hope I don't survive this next volley.
A miss. He stabs blindly and misses, and then he'll attack again. Oh yeah, that's a hit. All right, and then I think that's all I got. Yep. Pass my turn.
Mm-hmm. Come on, spiritual weapon. You're letting me down really bad right now. You need to, knock this cowboy unconscious, please.
I want to say this is like round 5 or 6, but
Something like that.
I'm not really keeping track of things right now.
There you go. And the mace creeps up behind and whacks you over
Max
the head.
damage.
You finally get a hold of it. It's like the most cinematic fight I've ever seen between these two titans.
Hey, we gave him a good show.
Yeah, like you beat me down, I push you down. You
We're in
probably
the
still
mud.
got plenty
You
of
got
hit
like
points,
your
though.
hands wrapped around my neck, trying to stab me through the chinks in my armor. And then this
And you
spiritual
just-
mace flies in.
Oh man, that's
As
awesome.
Alfredo goes down, a team of stabilizers run onto the arena / pit and
All right, break it up.
bring him to 1 hit point.
I love it.
Oh, they don't even heal you to full. What a cheap team of fucking healers.
Honestly, they're all. I
How are you
shit you
supposed to go
not.
rounds to rounds, man?
I shit you not. They're all kobolds that run onto the arena.
Okay, I don't blame him.
Jar
like
Drag
this.
there.
Yeah,
No,
it's a good
definitely not.
Why you-
Absolutely not.
Come on, you had the opportunity to
Absolutely
do
not.
that. Why would you waste
man.
it, Alex? Sorry, inside joke. It's from our session.
All right. So he wakes up, and Mordecai wakes up. He's just like looking around like he's waking up from a bender. He turns, kind of rolls over onto his stomach, pushes himself up slightly up onto his elbow, grabs his hat, his John Marston hat, and grabs his cigar that was still lit out of the dirt. Takes yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, you keep going.
He just puts it in his mouth. He looks up to Enoth, and he meets your gaze. He just nods. Like
Enough will
to you fair Spanish ladies.
I like that song.
he just nods. This very very gruff, manly nod. Like there's definitely like a newfound respect there.
Enough will help you up if you'll take it.
Yeah.
Umi will come down to the pit and put each of you on either side of him and hold up Enoch's hand as if he's announcing the winner of a fight.
Yeah. Mordecai smiles loudly. He says, give it up for my boy. Woo! You ain't spending money on drinks ever again, you hear me? At least not tonight.
And the winner of this round is Toby.
Yeah. Oh god.
This giant bloated frog on a throne
With half of a gold coin hanging out of its mouth.
Yeah, I feel like if he turns into a giant monster, he's just gonna vomit a stream of gold coins that just deals bludgeoning, like
It's
magical
a breath
bludgeoning
weapon.
damage.
Yeah, acid and half melted gold coins.
Funny you should mention that. Anyway. Yeah, I think that right there is a good moment to go ahead and take a quick bio break so I can go get some Excedrin.
Sorry
yeah,
about your migraine.
it happens. Anyway, yeah, guys, we'll be right back. Enjoy the clips. Funny intermission video. All right, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Now it's showtime, folks. And you can be sure it's the best show in town. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Who's setting up shop? We got a cleric paladin who is also setting up shop. We're gonna call our consortium Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium. We don't sell hats.
Is we don't sell hats part of the name?
No, I just thought I'd clarify.
I like it better if it was part of the name. Yeah, me too.
Oh,
That would be very funny.
I mean, I'm the head of it, so like we could add that to the name.
We will then. We're gonna have shirts made. I gotta get their portraits all put together, and we're gonna have merchandise.
Oh my god!
This is gonna be awesome.
Praetor's Haberdashery Consortium. Parentheses. We don't sell hats.
I would buy one of those shirts.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The Juicy Frank sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now.
They don't really apply to level 0 characters.
They don't? Okay. All right. So then I won't grab them. I thought that crit might be that extra one. Okay. So here's the regular damage. Oh, say good night, Francis. Oh, that's Chip. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, Chip.
Suck it, Chip.
Whoops. I thought
I'm sorry, sir. This is a private mountain.
But I only wanted it.
This mountain is reserved for patrons.
But
it's a supply depot for all sorts of good things, which people can get at the snack bar. Like soft drinks, candy bars of all kinds, delicious popcorn, and refreshing ice cream treats.
But I am a patron.
Well, why didn't you say so? Be our guest.
Through, and you're kind of at a point where you can't really wedge your way in there anymore. You're like,
here, boy. Here, boy. Come. Here, boy. You can do it. Come on.
Yes, sir. May I help you?
I'd like 2 of those, please.
Hot dogs? Yes, sir.
And 3 of those. And 1 of those. And 5 bars of these. And a cup of that nice hot liquid.
Coffee. Coming right up.
Oh, and 2 bags of those peculiar white coffee material.
You mean our crunchy popcorn? Shall I wrap that for you, sir?
Oh, that's all right. My saucer's just outside.
They come from miles to enjoy our intermission.
I'm terribly sorry. Bjorn, you explode, and in your place is a sweet roll.
Nice.
Hello there. Give the demonstration of my new invention, the goodies machine. The machine turns out delicious hot doggies one after the other. And thirst-quenching sodas also. Gives popcorn of the most tasty kind, plain unbuttered. Candy too, crunchy and dandy. Steaming hot coffee and ice cream too. These goodies are at our snack bar, just waiting for you.
Private messenger. And do you know how to do that in Facebook? I mean, in Facebook, whatever. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
At least Facebook is still around.
Wow.
Hundreds of years into the future.
Hey, why mess with a good thing?
Go ahead
right?
and clip that one, guys. And you can send that one to me later too. Thanks a lot.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
There, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Ethan, there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Brass knuckles he's wearing, and the creature just.
How did the creature go?
One more time?
What? One more time?
No, that was it.
Like you crave that corn when it's freshly bobbed. You gotta beat it to the box with the butter on the top. Get with it, man. Start strolling down to the sweets that you're rolling, the best in town. Our candy's real gone, if I'm understood. To all you squares, that means the confection is positively delicious. Cork that stuff. Give me 5. Let me send you into this nutty jive. Go, man, go. It ain't very far. Shake it on down to this cool snack bar. Come on, Jill. Give us a treat. A friendly pepper-upper with a tasty beat.
Drink Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, 'cause it never lets you down.
Frosty, man. Frosty.
People, we might be able to take care of that. I
I'm
understand.
gonna sing the Doom song now.
Oh, God.
Doom, 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 doom. Doom, da doom. Doom, da doom, da doom. Doom, da doom. Doom, doom, da doom, doom. Doom, doom. Doomy, doomy, doomy. Doom, doom, doom. The end.
Music to the ears of the hungry. The sizzle of a mouth-watering hamburger. Fresh, lean beef, done to a golden brown, couched in a soft bun, and garnished to taste. Man, that's hunger heaven. And you'll feel like you're heaven sent when you get one at our refreshment stand.
Happen, let me see. Is there a deception check for a horse? Does a horse have a... Ooh, it's going for the...
deception for a horse?
Yeah, horse has got deception. So the horse goes up and you see it. It's looking a brief second. It looks at the plant like maybe, you know, it's something even tastier. But then it sticks out its tongue and it, you know, pulls back, you know, and then it backs up. It's got the sugar cube in its mouth and its eyes go, as these eyes just go, and it starts, woo! And it starts bucking, and you know, and it just. And he was looking at something in his hand, and he is standing up, and he grunts out, "Who the F are you? What are you doing here?"
Housekeeping?
Oh my god.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
She had red whelps and skin was looking all grotesque and all that, and she let out a little bit of a mumbled roar, leveled the gun at everybody in the room there, and that was where we cut last week. So that was where we'll pick up the action now, unless there are any questions or anything else that the group would like to add.
I have a question.
Please ask away.
What is a mumble roar?
Mumble roar. Yeah, well, yeah, you know.
Settle back now, content, comfortable, well-fed, and ready for some fine entertainment. Is everybody happy? Then let's go. It's showtime.
Hello, and we're back. Well, 6 of us are. 5 of us. I don't know. There's numbers.
Go.
There's math. I don't know anything.
Never do math on stream.
Yeah, never try to do math on stream, especially when you have a migraine.
2.
All right. So anyway, we had a very eventful Fight Club encounter there between 2 members of the party. Didn't go quite as I expected it to go, at least not the first couple rounds.
Fight with a ferocity that I would expect none the less of from some one of the Orkin breed.
You took
Sorry, I got
right out of my mouth, human.
I got hit in the head really hard during that fight.
Yeah. You got hit in the head so hard, even the DM's head hurts.
He put the crossbow to my helmet, shot. It made my ears ring.
I rang your bell.
Fought pretty dirty.
All right, so Rowan and Roz, where did we leave off with you?
Oh yeah, the dead man.
The dead man heading down towards the southward.
So, Rowan, what do you think the others are doing? Drinking, possibly. Yes, that's.
I'm sure at this time of evening they are most definitely consuming drink.
I do not understand that in the other races. What the enjoyment is in getting so drunk you do not even remember what you did. Makes no sense to us.
Sounds like a good Friday night.
And then being sick all over yourself, and the next morning
soiling the bed.
Yes, exactly. Boy, that is not good.
That is why I sleep on the top bunk.
Very wise man. Very wise man. And not to mention the gold that just throw out the windows, so to speak, or
yeah, throw down the hatch.
Yes. Well, couple more hours of looking in the southward, and
yeah, we'll take a gander around, see if we see anything, and then we can head back, I suppose.
Yes. And Ross has a feeling that these ones, if they do not want to be found, they will not be found.
I have that same
It was
feeling.
pure happenstance that we saw them the other night.
Yes. You continue walking around the southward, looking for evidence of this this group of mysterious individuals. You are walking around, cutting through the different alleys, hoping to either catch a glimpse of them or get the drop on them somehow, if they're still in this area. You're walking and you see a body laying in one of the alleys. It's kind of laying off to the side, up, kind of like it's been pushed up next to a building. But it doesn't look like a whole lot of effort has been really made to, quote, hide the body. Just pretty much like moved from out of the middle of the street.
Go up and examine the body.
You go up and examine the body. This individual, as soon as you approach this individual, it is very, very apparent to you that this person is dead. You kind of like roll him over a little bit and examine and you immediately notice same type of wound on this person as you saw on the dying man that you encountered earlier.
Okay.
Roz will stand up from kneeling down and start to look around us just to make sure we don't get ambushed. This appears to be the same, no? A calling
It is very
card,
much
possibly.
the same. I'm gonna search the body for any notes or like before I would guess mess with the body too heavily. Take a look. Is he like pointing in a direction by chance? Like as he died?
No, he's just laying there.
Okay, so he's useless. All right, check his body for notes.
You start to check over his body, and while you're doing that, Roz, give me a perception check.
Righty then.
You start to hear footsteps coming up one of the main roads to, it sounds like it's heading towards your location.
Stop. Someone approaches. I'll look down the direction, kind of nod my head at the direction they're coming from.
I sit down with my back against the building and pretend to be a beggar.
The full dress cleric in nice gear.
No, I was about to say, like, how?
I said I pulled my cloak around and made myself more hidden. Yeah, obviously, if they took a close enough look, they would notice. But if they're just walking down the dark alley at night, they wouldn't really.
Yeah, but beggars normally don't have cloaks either. So,
well, I try anyways.
They also usually
doesn't
don't
work.
have
It doesn't work.
parents.
Yeah, that too. All right, Roz. You see Rowan kind of go attempt to disguise himself in the alley as a beggar. As you hear the footsteps approaching your direction, getting louder and louder, and now you can kind of start to discern like a metal twang kind of sound to the steps, as if it's somebody walking that way that has at least some type of armament to them, some like they're wearing some kind of armor. Kind of hard to tell what exactly, but you're hearing that metal clang.
Okay, he is going to he casts pass without a trace, and he's going to kind of slide into the shadows.
All right. All right, you cast pass without a trace, and you kind of like try to blend in with the shadows there in the alley. You think you're pretty good, and about that moment, you see city guard kind of come into your view at the end of the alley. What do you do?
Would I notice it was a guard as well? I know.
Oh yeah, I mean they're carrying torches. They're loud and clangy. They're not trying to be stealthy.
I would stand up and hail the guard.
Uh,
Kind of pull my hood back off my cloak so that I'm presentable.
One of them kind of like taps to the other one. Who are you and what business do you have here?
My name is Acolyte Rowan Bertolt. I'm a cleric of Zeus. I'm in Waterdeep visiting. My friends and I have been staying at the Yawning Portal and doing some adventurous work. We learned of a mysterious new band of brigands in town and have been trying to track them. They're leaving trails of bodies, and I'll kind of point to the one on the alley floor here. They all seem to have this scorched sword mark across them.
Another one, you say? I guess need to add that one to the list as well.
Do you have any leads on where they might be? Seems they've been centralized around the South Ward, from what I've noticed, and what the clues or the bodies have led to, anyways.
The only possible location that we've been able to ascertain as of right now is somewhere within Waterdeep.
I see.
One of them begins to approach to kind of look over the body, and the other one kind of stands about 10-15 feet back and is, kind of keeping watch around the area. He draws his sword just in case. Excuse me, the guard is kind of sitting there examining the body, and he's like, yep, it's same type of wound mark we have here, and I feel like this could be a problem. He starts to look over a little more, and he's like, oh, this is not going to be good. Another guard has asked him, what now? Apparently this individual belonged to the Zentarum.
I'm afraid I'm not 100% familiar with that. I've heard of them, but not extensively.
So, very well. I'm just going to venture out on a guess here and say that you're not from Waterdeep, are you?
That would be correct. I grew up just outside of Neverwinter.
Very well. Yes, the Zentarum are a ruthless organization, mostly of thieves and assassins. They are definitely a group of individuals that you do not want to cross.
See. Well, you said this one and kind of motioned towards the body. This was a member of that guild?
Yes.
Well, it appears whoever is attacking them does not care that they are people not to cross, which should be of concern. If I may suggest, I would strengthen your forces that are looking for maintain focus around the South Ward. Seems like everything we've led to so far has led us here.
Yes, that probably would be best. Because if we have a group of individuals that have absolutely no care to dispatch a member of the Zentarum, for lack of a better word, out in the open like this, then they're either foolish or more than capable of handling themselves, or both. Either way, I would really not like to find out the answer myself. And he kind of goes on carrying on a conversation with the other guard. When out of nowhere you all just hear basically out of nowhere you just hear sound, and you see them both kind of like and kind of fall down to a knee. And Rowan, you get a glimpse real quick, and you see in each of their necks you see a crossbow bolt as embedded into the side of their neck.
Kind of like immediately raise my shield and light it up.
You raise your shield and light it up. The alleyway is definitely bright. But you don't really see any individuals. You don't see anyone or anything.
Roz will look up to see if he sees any shadows.
You look up, and for a brief moment, you see a glimpse of a figure standing up on one of the rooftops. Can't really make anything out, but it does look like they're wearing a hooded cloak. And then he kind of steps back away from the edge, and everything goes completely black for the two of you.
Oh. Okay. Not sure I like that, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I would say you hear a little bit of movement in the darkness, and then almost as quickly as your vision went dark, your vision returns to you, and the light on your shield is illuminating the area once again. And you go to kind of look around. The guards are still down on the ground, with the bolt in the side of their neck. But you go to look around, and the body that you had found is no longer there.
Come, we must go quickly.
Yeah, I'll
back to the Yawning Portal.
Definitely gonna follow.
Beat feet back to the Yawning Portal as silently as can. This does.
Pass that trace lasts for an hour, doesn't it?
Yes, 1 hour. So however long it takes us to get back, we will be under the covers of darkness.
Takes an hour and 6 seconds.
It's okay.
No, you make it back to the Yawning Portal. And you see the other three members of your party have ventured back up to the main area. Enoth and Mordecai look like they've had the crap beat out of them.
Mordecai's at the bar, I figured.
He's got a stack of upside down shot glasses in front of him. And he's talking to some girls who wandered up.
Umi.
And Umi.
Ooh, mommy.
He's like, why don't you take my turtle friend here upstairs and show him a good time, sweetheart?
I'm good. I'm good.
More for me, brother. And he throws back
Hell
another
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So I guess about that time we come busting in the door.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of out of breath.
Enoch the holy man is being swooned over by girls.
Brother!
Pull up a stool. We have a lot to talk about.
There's one for everyone here.
Indeed.
That we do.
Or would you rather have a table? Somewhere private.
Table.
Yes.
Table.
A table.
Oh, no, the bar is good for stories. Come on now. We ain't seen y'all in a couple days, it feels like.
This story should be said away from prying ears and eyes.
Okay. Enoch will make his way to a booth then, I suppose.
Saying like y'all want to talk some shop.
Hey, Dernan.
Danger, yes.
Let's head on down here with these fine folk in this private room. How y'all doing tonight?
Dernan, can we use one of the rooms in the back?
That's
very good idea.
Can we use the kitchen?
No.
Kitchen, no.
The meeting room.
Teach y'all
no?
how to make some of my famous squirrel stew.
Some of my most favorite is Western spaghetti.
It's an Italian dish. Call it Alfredo.
I was more thinking of the dining room / meeting room, Dernan.
He just kind of points, like, just go.
Okay.
Western spaghetti. I fucking love it, dude.
Just go.
Oh, there is a private room in the back. Fine, okay, we'll use the private room in the back of the kitchen.
Just go.
Do you think I was just lying?
There's enough chairs.
Fine. Make it more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Hey,
Both
Umi,
of
is
them?
your token upside down or something?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's just at an awkward angle.
There.
I can send it in the chat between us. Between all of us.
Well, so you two had something important to share?
Oh, cool.
Yes. On our way back from the haberdashery the other night, we saw some mysterious cloaked men shadily making their way through the alleyways. In an attempt to follow, they evaded us, and this evening we spent looking for them. Starting in the dock ward, didn't find much, came back up here, and as we were patrolling, we came across a dying man, a pickpocket thief, with a nasty rend of a wound across stomach and chest, scorched marks and dead flesh all around it. Anyways, he said that these men were traveling towards the south ward. He described them almost perfectly how they were. Heading to the south ward and cruising around for a couple of hours, we found another body with the same marking. Then we were confronted by some guards here, and in the midst of talking to them, a couple of crossbow bolts flew out of the sky, hit them in the neck. We were then I don't know, knockout or our vision was lost, something of the sort. And when we woke up, all the bodies were gone.
Maybe it could have been a spell similar to darkness.
I'm familiar.
This bodes very ill. Some sort of organized dark presence arrayed against us.
The one that was killed, that disappeared, was Zentarim.
Oh, that's interesting.
The crime syndicate, right?
Whoever killed the Zentarim obviously is unafraid of their organization.
Well, the thing about the Zentarim is they don't really care for one another.
Yes, but who?
I mean, it could have been a member in the actual organization. Who knows? It could have been the Xanathar. They have bad blood between each other.
This one knows nothing of these
Umi
senior
will
sorts.
Umi will go into detail about the two gangs pretty much in Waterdeep between the Xanathar and the Zentarim. After spending a lot of time here, I think he has a pretty good comprehension of the two.
Roz looks at Rowan and, is this possible? It's some sort of... He looks back over to whatever your name is. I can't remember.
Umi,
yeah. As he says, some sort of gang? Or? It is unknown to me in the city.
what were the people that you spotted? What were they wearing?
Grab the cloaks that I saw.
As it was very... Look, most like heavy armor, some kind of plate armor possibly. It was not clean though. And neither were the cloaks and robes they were wearing.
Well, it could be a separate organization, or it could just be the two organizations I said that are in Waterdeep currently. That's interesting. The spell that they are spellcasters, that would more lean to Xanathar, I believe.
That's a fair assumption.
Other than what you have told us, he knows absolutely nothing of what you speak. It is...
The Zentarim aren't as bad as the Xanathar Guild, but they're kind of like the black market per se. They like wealth and they like their own goods. They like their profit. Whereas Xanathar just kind of is an agent of chaos.
They ever come to the fight clubs?
No, I'm pretty extensive on my research and background checks.
They sound like some city slicking thugs. We ought to go find them and give them what for.
Well, the rumor is Xanathar is ran by a beholder.
But what? Like beauty in the eye of the beholder?
A giant monster.
Speaking in metaphors?
It's like a giant spaghetti meatball that shoots lasers.
Oh, you say spaghetti, it all makes sense now.
A beholder is a monster that could cause catastrophe to anyone. That's why he's on check, is because nobody can deal with him.
And it lives here in the city?
Supposedly. I've never seen him. It's only rumors.
It sounds like some hogwash.
This one has heard of such a thing. I have a cousin who reportedly had dealings with one of these things.
What's your cousin's name?
I love this. I want to say, I love this.
The cousin's name. Yes, his name is Lionel Strater. You have heard?
No.
I have not. What is it?
Oh, I ain't from around here, partner. I ain't heard of Xanathar or Zentarim or Lionel. I don't know none of these blokes. I just don't like people picking fights on common folk around here, killing people and getting away with it.
Well, you said that
Ain't right.
the first victim you came across was a thief.
Yes, he admitted to being a pickpocket and attempted to pickpocket these folks, and it did not end up very well for him.
Did you examine anything they had or their tattoos or anything?
I did not stick around the first one's body too terribly long. No, we were trying to catch up because he had just died.
Thieves are the most common things to belong to the Zentarim.
It may as well could have been as in this Zentarum member that you speak of.
I don't like them. Thieves ain't got no damn honor.
It sounds really suspicious. Why, if it were inter-organizational, why would they go to such lengths to attempt to hide it from you? Disposing of the bodies and whatnot. Doesn't seem like it would be that important.
Less they had something on them that the Zentarim were trying to steal.
Well, there is a lot of spells that can do with talking to those of the dead as well.
Mm-hmm. Those are foul magics, necromancy, and the like.
Roz would agree with that.
I also have to agree.
You're not wrong.
Perhaps then the people who were killed knew something very important.
Or, like Alfredo said, we're carrying something important.
Do you think the... Oh, well, it is no matter now because the body has been removed. What about the first body, Rowan? The man who died in your arms. Do you think we could find our way back there and possibly check for what he calls what is it? Tattoos?
Tattoos or any markings of...
Oh, body markings, yes. What do you think?
You gotta have...
We can find our way back if you wish to go.
It seems that whoever has left these bodies is using them as traps to get these guards to show up to them and then take care of them.
I don't like it.
That is a very good observation. Ross did not think of that, did you, Rowan?
No.
It would be good to be in our party. You join us.
Well,
Could you leave your fight club long enough?
Well, it seemed like Durna was pretty adamant about me leaving, so I don't think that's an issue.
Oh, well, good. Because it seems you know much of what happens here in the water deep. Yes.
I have spent a lot of time here.
Well, I can try to take us back to that first body. No promises.
No telling if it is still there. If they took one, possibly they took the other.
You said you mentioned guards that came up. Did they at all hint at findings of other bodies or?
Yes. They actually seemed unsurprised by it.
As a matter of fact, Rowan, did they not say that this is just another one?
Yes.
And a number of like murders.
Yep.
So yes, it seems to be all throughout the city.
It might be wise to wait till the morning to do some research about these fellow individuals, or maybe even contact some of the guards that are still alive. Maybe Durnan also knows something. He's pretty good at information grabbing.
That's a good idea.
Ooh, another good idea.
I can still take you to the body real quick this evening if it's still there. That way you can get a look for this tattoo you speak of. I'm not sure what to look for or where to look.
Okay.
And then we can finish the evening out and come morning find the head guard outpost for the ward and see what they have to say. See if we can offer our assistance.
Stay here real quick, and you'll see Umi kind of start to cast something. And he's going to use the sending spell to talk to Durnan. He's going to ask if any of these occurrences have made their way to his ears, and if he has any ideas of what has caused them. You can reply to this message.
If we knew what was causing bodies to just be randomly dropping in the city, don't you think that would no longer be a problem?
And with Waterdeep, no.
That was 25 words. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it seems like Durnan has heard of this, but he has no idea of who's caused it.
I'll go with y'all. Keep an eye out.
Very well. I guess head to the first body and see if it's still there.
Before we go, can y'all help me out for a second? I got a big old bloody nose here. Can't stop leaking. Yeah, he intimates that he needs healing.
I will also point out that it is late into the night.
How far exactly is it to get to the body?
The first one I thought was right near the Yawning Portal.
No, that was down near the dock ward.
Oh. Well, it's probably gone then. Never mind.
Perhaps, thinking of the hour, it is best to wait until the rising of the sun. Oh?
Yeah. Sure. Also, some important news. Rowan. Your brother's a champion.
Of?
Fighting.
Oh. Yeah, he is. We done fought fair and square. The boy's got a lot of grit, and a lot of heart. And I like it.
Do you love me now, brother?
I'm the favorite now, brother.
I hate you.
Mother will say when I go back home and tell her I'm the arena champion.
He may not be your favorite brother, Rowan, but he's my favorite brother.
And this Mordechai, he fights with a ferocity I've not seen. He'll make an excellent addition to the party.
Party? Oh, you're talking about the Fight Club? Yeah.
This merry band of adventurers.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
What are y'all part of some kind of mercenary company?
Something like that.
Durnan's Expendables.
You're still here.
Get out.
Well, with this conversation wrapping up, Umi will lead everybody out of the office area that Durnan uses most of the time to wind down and whatnot, and her staff.
He's just in there sharpening a sword all night.
Doesn't need to sharpen it. It sharpens itself.
Not the point.
Sometimes a man just likes to sit and hold his steel.
Heard that. That's why I like to wear my crotchless chaps.
Your what?
Sometimes you gotta let the other person know what you're working with.
Yep. It's called open carry. Get used to it. Waterdeep's an open carry town.
My God. Jesus.
Roz will never get used to the city.
I hear you, man. This place is weird. There's just too much going on and a lot of all these gangs and shit. The guards don't do nothing about it. Makes me sick.
Oh, here's not
something
too
done right. You gotta do it yourself.
Here's the gang shit, and he'll have a toast.
This city's not too much different from Helmshold. It's much bigger, and there's a lot more crime. But it's always the same.
Here's the crime.
here's the Crossroads Chaps.
Here, here.
Tor
Hip,
comes
hip,
from
hooray.
across the bar, and he cheers too.
Yeah, he joins in, starts drinking everybody's drinks off the table.
You done with that? You done with that? You gonna finish that?
All right, you all are done.
Okay. Cut yourself. Hold up now.
He just goes, he pours all of the half-drunk drinks into one big bottle and then takes it with him.
He throws the bottle down the Yawning Portal. He lights it on fire and tosses it like a,
Why would
like
he
a
do
bombardier's
that?
barrel.
It's that gang shit we were talking
It's
about.
like
I guess.
lights it
gang
up,
shit.
tosses it, looks at it, go fetch.
Yeah.
Go get it.
The very timbers of the building are rattled by the
Throws it
explosion.
straight into the middle of the Yawning Portal. Falls down. Go get it. Go.
Torrent,
Good boy.
why is Torrent making bombs in the Yawning Portal?
What else is he gonna
levels of-
do?
Took some levels of alchemist. What do you think he's gonna use his alchemy supplies for?
Suppose so. He's got a brewer's kit and an alchemist kit.
I figured it would be to make booze, but you know.
I
Yeah,
think he's gonna start
setting up
carpet
his
bombing
still in
all
the
of
corner.
Waterdeep.
That's what Torrent's gonna do. He's going to become his own brewer now that he's not really doing anything.
But your brothers.
Jumbo,
He's
thanks for the
retired.
raid.
He's the typical retiree guy. He's gonna retire
for
and
the
start
fun.
his own little IPA company.
A microbrewery.
Yeah, a little microbrewery in the
Micro
back.
What's it gonna be called?
brewery.
Oh,
They're gonna need something to compete with that magical ale.
Yes.
They're up in the North Ward.
Yeah.
What magical ale? Oh, you're talking about the place that burned down.
Yeah, the place that burned
No,
down
the
after
curse
the
of-
holder
the curse of-
attacked it.
The Curse of Lamia drink.
it's going to be called Unlucky Brew, named after the building that fell.
The unlucky brew. Oh, I love that idea so much.
Very
now I
unlucky.
want to make a microbrewery. The unlucky brew. That's gonna be a magic item in my games.
It's a purple quality item you find in boxes, like 10% spawn rate.
Brought to you by Panitz.
You get a luck point automatically. Like you get a free point of inspiration automatically, but so does the DM.
I like this brew. I like it a lot. So,
Well, time to go hit the hay. Umi goes to his respected room.
Yeah, I guess I'll just post up in my hammock out back with my horse.
Oh, you have a horse?
I do. Trusted steed. Out back right now. Big old Clydesdale son bitch.
Just 9
what's
foot
his
tall
name?
horse.
His name?
Buttercup.
I'll tell you his name. As soon as I think of one.
Macaroni.
Buttercup.
His name is Macaroni Macintosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
fucking hell.
I can get behind that.
He's 16 head tall.
Thought it would be a Mustang.
16 hands.
Sure
16
it's not a
hands.
Stang?
It's not a Mustang. I'm too big for that. And he like slaps his big belly. He's a big, huge dude. He's like 300 pounds. Macaroni Macintosh is a giant Clydesdale horse. Giant brown and white Clydesdale horse.
Umi is 380 pounds.
That's because you got that big old turtle shell you walk around like you're carrying your house with you. It's like a big old mobile home.
He goes into his shell.
Now, don't get all turtled up on me. I ain't meaning no harm to you.
How many items can you
think
fit
it's
in your
honorable.
shell?
Home is where your shell
My
is.
whole body. Umi's going to be really cautious this afternoon, and he's going to cast Liamid's tiny hut by the door and go into his shell.
Suddenly, your hut disappears, and
no. The dome, it just looks like a giant turtle shell.
It is, yeah.
It's got like the hexagon pattern and everything.
Durnan just walks right through it.
Oh shit!
You're still here.
I mean, he probably would allow Durnan to run through it or walk.
It's not a matter of allow. Got to be there when it's cast.
Oh, is it? I thought it was.
You got to be inside the bubble in order to be able to have free access to it.
Durnan don't care. He just walks right through it. You're still here.
See, it's my domain.
Yeah.
Like any spell cast within the Yawning Portal, I feel like he has immunity to.
It's called
by
plot armor.
virtue of being one of the open lords or masked lords. He's just got that magic about him.
Funny thing about the Mass Lords, nobody really knows who they are.
It's widely assumed that Durnan is one of the masked lords.
Yeah. I mean, outside the game, yeah, he is.
Yeah. Which, I mean, makes sense on his caliber.
Oh, yeah. So I take it everybody's probably going to go for to turn in for the night.
Well, then their long rest.
Yeah, because it is really late into the evening now.
Yeah, it's like game time's matching up with real time right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we're done.
Cool. And I believe that's a good spot to hold. Till next time.
Till more Fight Club.
Portal C.
Previously on Yawning Portal. Thanks everybody for watching. And the raids and the follows. If it sounds like I have no idea what I'm saying, it's probably because I have a migraine that set in right before break, and oh boy, makes wording hard. Anyway, we have many nights of programming here on this channel, and oh yeah, somebody did something. Oh, Exo, thanks for the resub. Right. Oh, don't worry, I'm definitely going to. There we go. Guys, I don't know if you all heard the news, but Halloween is later this month.
Oh, it's spooky season?
This is spoopy season.
It's spoopy season.
And on the 28th, that particular session of Yawning Portal will be a different game session of sorts.
Fever Dream?
A fever dream, yeah, kind of.
On a very special Yawning Portal.
On a very special episode of Yawning Portal. Basically, what's happening is we're going to be running the Bleak Harvest, which is an adventure module that is available through one of our sponsors, Total Party Kill Games. But it won't be these characters running through it. No. We have a special treat for everybody, including Duff. The OG Dragon Heist cast is coming back. And I can't wait.
You and me both.
Wigs and all.
Yes.
Wigs and all.
Wigs
Funny
and
voices and all.
It's going to be
Funny,
great.
kinky religion and all.
Panites and all.
Whips, leather, wigs.
Yes,
and all.
And I also don't know if you all know this or not, but Halloween is a very big, important holiday for Total Party Kill games. So there might be some promotions and giveaways and things going on that week. You'll just have to stay tuned to find out. Also, it's up in the air still, but the week prior to Halloween, or the 21st, I believe, may or may not have an episode of Yawning Portal that week. You'll just have to stay tuned in the announcements in Discord to find out, because Gamehole Con is that week. You know how that goes. So that being said, we have many other shows. On Mondays, we have Storm King's Thunder with DM Esquire, also known as Coven MTG, also known as Seth, or if you're in the know sometimes, also known as DM Mando Daddy. And every time you see him, call him that and tell him I sent you to do it. That starts here on our Twitch channel at 7 p.m. All the times I'm saying are Central Standard Time. On Tuesdays, we have, is it still Stormlord's Wrath?
Nope, it's gonna be Sleeping Dragon's Wake.
All right, whatever he just said. With Sammy, the guy right there playing Rowan. That's here on our Twitch channel as well. That starts at 8. Wednesdays coming up. Guys, we have new programming.
What?
We have new programming. We have another campaign of Lost Mines of Phandelver with Lord Praetor himself, starting at 7 p.m. Central. However, this will be on our YouTube channel.
Fresh meat. Meat's back
Fresh
on
blood?
the menu, boys.
Yeah. It is Lost Mines of Phandelver, the Artist Collective. It's five artists of different disciplines playing D&D together. I personally know quite a few of them. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. Thursdays is us. Tales from the Yawning Portal with us. You already know. Thursdays. Fun. Fridays, currently we have no programming. Shame. However, starting November 5th on our YouTube channel.
Remember.
Teasing.
5th of November. On Fridays, starting November 5th, we have Out in the Black, a Serenity RPG campaign that will be on our YouTube channel as well. And that is going to be run by our one and only DM Mech 45.
No, DM Daddy 45.
DM Daddy. So that, yeah. So soon we'll have programming on Fridays again. That'll be fun. Non-stream shows, we have Savage Worlds, East Texas University with DM Eric B. That is pre-recorded and uploaded to our YouTube in parts. I can't explain it. You just have to watch. It's entertaining. It was originally supposed to be a limited run deal, but they are having way too much fun with it and are just going to keep running it till they just decide not to anymore. Also, guys, did you hear Loco now has a podcast game?
It did.
I would like to know more.
Yeah, it's Rhyme of the Frost Mating with our very own Roz, aka Leonel, aka Band-Aid, aka Judas, aka whatever other characters you played on the channel.
Specifically Leonel.
Yeah, specifically Leonel Straight Arrow. That they've already started recording.
Yes.
But that I believe that will be premiered November 2nd. I'm not 100% sure as to what platform. Just stay tuned. Yeah, I
All the major podcast outlets, I suppose.
Probably. No, only available specifically in the Zune store.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Something's got to prop Zune back up, man. I mean,
yeah, good luck. We have an upcoming sub game this month, October 24th, run by Mr. Lone Wolf over there, DM Sammy. And this one is the Rick and Morty adventure. I've played it, I've ran it. It's all kinds of chaotic fun. Yeah, it's what you would expect if you've ever seen the show. It's exactly what you would expect as a D&D game.
Sounds utterly cringe, and I'm here for it.
Oh, it's great. Spots are still open for subscribers. Just make sure your Twitch and your Discord accounts are linked. Make sure all your passwords are updated with all the recent bullshit that's went on lately. This will give you access to the subscriber only channel, and from there you can find out more information on our sub games and sign up. And yeah, there's that. And we also have sponsors for our channel. One I already mentioned, Total Party Kill Games. They're creators of Dark Fantasy Dungeons and Dragons compatible products, plus hilarious card games and more. You can find them at www.totalpartykill.games and check out their latest releases of products and books. They've been a sponsor, at least of this game, for a while. Now they sponsor the whole what's the word, channel, including, like I said, Halloween stuff coming up. So I can't wait. We also have the Druids Den, your place for magical supplies and apothecary needs. The website is www.thedruidsden.com. Support Mama Prater's newest endeavor. They have a lot of really interesting stuff there on the website. If you like tea, that's definitely a good place to get some of that. I can't explain it. You just have to go check it out. And I mean, let's be honest. Mama Prater's got to put up with Duff, so I mean, help her out. Help out Mama Prater. She has to deal with
She's
Duff.
a saint.
She's a saint. She has to deal with Duff. So there's that. Anyway, that's all in the script. So anybody else got anything?
My beef.
My beef.
No.
You're still here? It's over.
Why?
Go home. Go.
I want that, but I want the Deadpool version.
Yeah.
Who's playing the soundboard? I have to know.
Loco.
I'm digging it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you some ideas later.
Oh God. Yeah, probably all of them. Yeah, you're right, Duff. But anyway, yeah, I said what I said, Duff. Because you've said it too, so I don't want to hear it. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. And oh crap, I just now realized I completely forgot. Saturday is Rise Against the Slave Lords. It's all female cast. It's 5e meets Greyhawk running with Duff. I don't know. My head hurts. Give me a break.
Sorry, Duff.
It's Saturday nights here on our Twitch channel. Starts at 9 Central. It's
never heard of it.
Yeah, it's freaking chaotic as all hell.
Yeah, Jeff is. It's really memorable for him.
That's very, very memorable. Very memorable. It's where I usually play most of my my stream loot cards at, just to aggravate them because I can. Yeah. Anyway, good night, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully we'll see you not tomorrow, but Saturday night. And I'm gonna shut up now and hit the outro so I can go deal with this migraine. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Be
Bye,
safe, everyone.
Hey, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Adios, muchachos.